I have almost 550 hours in Apex Legends, which is obviously not a lot. That means I'm still pretty bad at the game. I always watched players like Fade, Movementless and Kirito and I was impressed by their playstyle, so I tried going for movement as well. Anyways, I was literally losing all my gunfights and I wondered what my problem is. I watched some of my VODs back and I realized that I almost lose every fight because I'm missing my shots. And because I wanted to hit some satisfying one clips too, I tried out aim training. In this video I will give you some tips I learned in this week of practicing my aim, and in the end I will tell you why I think you should consider buying Kovaaks instead of using aim labs. Day 1. After researching, I immediately found a channel called Viscose or Viscosi, I hope I pronounce it right, and I really have to compliment her for really good videos about aim training. So I downloaded Kovaaks, got some nice settings and set up the Voltaic benchmark. For anyone who doesn't know, benchmarks are basically a bunch of different aim scenarios with a ranking system, which is a reflection of your aim skill level in different categories. Since I never played aim trainers, my stats were pretty poop. I forgot to take a screenshot here because I wasn't planning on making this video. So I downloaded the beginners playlist of the Voltaic fundamentals and practiced for the rest of the day. Day 2. On day 2 I kept playing the fundamentals playlist and watched some of the videos from Viscose. Again, if you want to learn how to aim right, then check out her channel. Those are literally the best videos you can find on YouTube about this topic. I realized that my resens was way too high, so I lowered it from 2.4 in-game with 800 DPI to 1.5 in-game with 800 DPI, and that helped me to get more stable and consistent in my flicks and tracking. Day 3. When I played the fundamentals playlist, I was really annoyed because I noticed that my aim was super shaky and I couldn't figure out why, so I concentrated on clean straight flicks in the static clicking and precise tracking categories. That was the first time that I made a custom playlist with scenarios that are specifically concentrated on my weak spots, and later on this will be my new aim routine. When I hopped in solos this day, I really started feeling improvements in my tracking and flicks. I was hitting way more shots and that already made me more comfortable entering gunfights and aim duels. Day 4. On day 4 I really started having fun playing Kovaaks. It felt good to practice and actually feeling the benefits in game. I started my aim routine and after that I played rank for the rest of the day. Day 5. I benchmarked again to see if I theoretically improved, and I basically broke all my personal bests, so my personal records in the Kovaaks scenarios. I felt like one of the biggest problems I had was that every time I'm flicking I have a little shake movement at the end of my flick that is destroying the micro adjustments. I watched a video about mouse grip from Viscose to solve this and asked in the Voltaic Discord, and they told me it could have something to do with the tension in my arm and the force I flick with. So I started to relax my arm more while aiming, and first I couldn't hit a shot, but after some minutes I got used to it and it felt way better than before. Day 6 and 7. On day 6 and 7 I basically did the same. I just played my routine, then ranked, and after that I benchmarked. I broke some of my personal bests again, but it was nothing special. Before I come to the conclusion, if you like this video, please consider giving me a positive feedback with a thumb in north direction and a comment for the algorithm. And if you like the content I make, consider subscribing. The conclusion. So what are my final thoughts on aiming and why would I recommend it? I definitely think that aim trainers like Kovaaks or aim labs are helpful at any skill level. But weeds, why do I have to use aim trainers if I just play the game a lot? Hear me out, Jimmy. Aim trainers are helpful because when you play Apex, like me for example, the time you actually aim in-game is not that much and not enough to improve your raw aim. The time you move your mouse to track a target or flick onto a target, so the length of a gunfight, are most of the time just seconds. In aim trainers, you have the ability to practice all different categories of aiming, focused on finding your mistakes and get a feeling of how good your aim is through the ranking system of benchmarks. If you start aim practicing, you will most likely feel big improvements in mouse control and aim skill after a very short period of time already. From now on, I will keep using Kovaaks to improve my skills at FPS shooters, or rather aiming overall for sure. So here are some tips I want to give you that I learned while aim training. Keep in mind to always use scenarios that actually help you improve, so not the ones you are already good at or that are just fun to play. Scenarios like grid shot or even grid shot 3x3 for example are fun to play but will not help you improve. Watch the videos from Viscos. I can't talk about it often enough. Her channel is one of the best, if not the best channel about aim trainers. She helped me so much with understanding aim theory and improving at what I am bad at. If you have more specific questions, join the Voltec Discord for more advice from better players. Alternatively, you can join my Discord if you're just looking for some nice people to talk to. Yet we are a small community, but you can help me to change that, so go check it out. And lastly, I want to talk about a little bit of a curiosity point I figured out while practicing my aim the last few days. If you, like most of the other gamers out there, me included, are drinking energy drinks like Monster or Red Bull while gaming, then this could possibly be the reason why you are having problems with shaky aim actually. I didn't even realize this for a very long time, but I'm very sensitive to caffeine, which made my hand shake a bit when I was concentrated on aiming. This might be the case for you too, but it might not be the reason as well. I'm just saying, after I stopped drinking energy drinks, I felt way better while gaming, so you might want to try that out too. Why is Kovaaks better than Aimlabs? So now at the end, why am I convinced that Kovaaks is much better than Aimlabs? I know Kovaaks costs some money, but to be fair it's not that much, so why not just use the free alternative Aimlabs? The first thing that is way better about Kovaaks is the UI, so the user interface. It's way more clear and comprehensible than the Aimlabs UI. You have everything you need when you open up the application and you can immediately start with your routine or whatever. And that also makes it way easier to navigate through different scenarios and playlists. And my second point would be the range of tasks, and this is where you actually realize why you paid €8 for it. I think that's also about $8 for anyone wondering. Aimlabs does have a good amount of scenarios, but Kovaaks definitely wins here. The amount of scenarios, different versions like easier or harder versions of the scenarios that are adjusted to different things players could possibly be focusing on, and the different playlists Kovaaks offers are just way better than
Aimlabs.
Tell me in the comments if I convinced you to start aim training today, and if yes, leave a like.